I'm back. I feel like I haven't talked to the camera at the house in a long time. Let me open this window. Where are the blinds? It still works. Here we go. I had a pretty hectic day. Also, today's my late mom's birthday. She would have been 62. She died 11 years ago. So she was 51. She had just turned 51 and then she died 2 months later. But anyway, I swear to God, I kept saying, お母さん誕生日おめでとう。でもお願いやから見守って。I was like, please, happy birthday, but please look over me because I left my boyfriend's house last night. Sugar and I actually went over to his house. He cooked us dinner, beautiful, fun, and then on the way home, almost like midnight, when I started the car, it felt like it was struggling to turn on, but it turned on pretty quickly. But it was just like, oh, that was kind of weird that it like lagged a little bit. But you know, it was so late, I was so tired. I didn't think to like open up the hood to see if it was the battery or something. So anyway, I woke up this morning, turned on the car to get to my 10 o'clock job. It was like at 9:45 that I left. I was a little late. I turned on the car, it started, but like barely turned over. And then I turned it off and I did it again and it barely turned over. And I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna get to my 10 o'clock job, but I don't know if I'm gonna have to get it towed somewhere. So then after my 10 o'clock job, it would have taken 30 minutes to get to my second job, which was at 1:30. And I was done around 12:20. And I was able to turn on the car. It like barely turned over and started. And then I looked up the nearest AutoZone, which was only 1.6 miles away, thank God. And I get there. The person there like looked annoyed as soon as I got in there. I was like, I don't know if you'd be able to help me, but I think I need a new battery. She's like, well, we don't have anybody to replace it, or she said something weird, like she's like, have you tested it or something? And I was like, well, it's having trouble starting. And so she got like a little machine to test it. We opened up the hood and she was like, oh, we don't have it. When it looks like that, because of all the battery acid, we don't have anyone to replace the battery or something. And she was like, you're gonna have to go to another AutoZone or call somebody to see if they have a person there that can replace it for you, because the guy that we have, the other person that's there at the store can't do it like this or something. And I was like, okay. At the time I didn't know what all, because the last time I went to AutoZone I was still in California, and there was like a freaking badass girl working there, and she was like, oh my god, you have a Mitzi? I have a Mitsubishi. And she was like so excited to change the battery for me, and she was so sweet, amazing girl. And I was like out of there in like 10 minutes. There wasn't that much battery acid then, but there was just like a little bit of residue. But yeah, she gave me absolutely no problems about it, so I figured it was gonna be around the same thing. But I opened the hood, and there was like battery acid on like the 2 circuit parts, and then maybe a little bit of like buildup at the top and the bottom. But yeah, apparently when there's a bunch of battery corrosion, they're afraid to do it for some reason, but which is fine, whatever. So she made me buy a battery cleaner spray, which like turns the corrosion into red, and you can just kind of like wipe it off. It's safer maybe. And so whatever, I have that spray now. And then after that, I was like, if you guys don't want to do it, that's fine. Is there anyone that can like watch over me and kind of like walk me through it? And so I looked up a video that was like only 3 minutes long for how to change a battery for a 2012 to 2022 Mitzi's. And I was like, for 3 minutes, it must be pretty simple. And so now I know how to do it. It's just loosening one nut on the right side, one nut on the left side, and then there's like a little contraption that holds up or like keeps the battery hooked onto the car. And so you unscrew the 2 nuts on the center, so 4 nuts total, and then you're able to remove it, and there's like a little handle on the battery and everything, and you put the new one on and put all those 4 nuts back together. And then I had this window job, and I was there last week or a week and a half ago, and it is such an old window. It's an old house. The two window sashes or window balances had popped out, and like the string that pulls on the spring had completely snapped off. So it was like a hung window, and it was no longer staying up when he tried to open it. And so I said, order these two things, which I was like kind of unsure, because when I saw the few model numbers that I could get on the old balances, it didn't match what I could find online, probably because the hardware that was on the house was so freaking old. So I was like, this looks exactly like the one that I was working on. It might not be the exact same size, I don't know, but I put some picture hanging like loops, D-rings, and had that hook on to, or had the little hook that's on these balances hook onto the D-rings that I screwed onto the side of the wall, or side of the window frame, and then kind of made it work. When I did the first one and it would not hold up the window, I was like, I'm missing something, but I don't know what else is there. And the tenant for this house has already moved in. Last time I was there, they had not moved in, so I could look at the windows that would still work to kind of see how it's supposed to look like. But this time it was my second visit. They had already moved in, they had their furniture in there, and I don't want to be like snooping around to a different room to see another window. So I was just like praying and hoping that it would work out when I put the other side, and then the first side that I was working on, the hook part, like I let it go while I was trying to screw something, and the momentum of letting it go and retracting into the spring made it come out of the whole like pulley system inside. And so I started to panic, like, holy shit, they're gonna have to order another one, you know, it's not gonna work, this is broken too. But I just kind of like really looked at the other one that was still intact and tried to kind of figure out how to put it back together alongside the pulley system, even though I don't think I did it exactly right, but it's good enough where it can tug onto the D-ring. And I screwed it at the top, and it's not pretty, and it's probably not the correct way to use those balances, but was there from 1:45 to about 3:15. Then I had to rush to my 4 o'clock job, which was the easiest portable AC install. I swear my mom was really looking out for me today, because I was really stressed out about the window job, and then the whole battery thing dying. I was just like, how am I going to get this fixed when I have so many jobs today? I have 3 jobs tomorrow too. 2 jobs. I'm like, and they're far, you know? Like, how the hell am I gonna manage to do this? So I'm so glad it worked out. I'm so glad it was just a battery. And I am just really thankful that she's watching over me, because I could not have survived this day. But that's I'm going. I thought this was a park. Oh, there's a stairway over there. Maybe that's how we should get that. How cool is this?